depression is very horrible. Some of you think that mental health conditions are people exaggerating, or people exaggerating, or people faking, or people wanting attention. Having depression is one of the worst sicknesses you can ever have in your life. I'm telling you, because it's like, because you have lost interest in activities you once enjoyed in, you can't do anything. You don't want to do anything. And you begin to isolate yourself. You are withdrawing from people. You are just stuck. Even phone calls, you don't want to pick. For me, for example, I was very selective about the calls I pick. There were calls that I knew that if I pick, it's about the person is going to ask me to do something, and I didn't want to do it. And it's like you are feeling lazy at the same time, but you are not lazy, and you are losing energy because you are not eating, and you do not feel like eating. You do not want to eat. It's like somebody has taken all your power away from you. When I say power, it's like your urge to do stuff. People like me, we people think we are the strongest people, like we are the strongest people. But we are also the people that when we fall and we are hurt, we are depressed, we cry and all those things, we choose who we want to reveal those things to. So you may see Ese and I as, oh, Ese and I is always strong, Ese and I is always, you watch her status, she's going out, she's having fun. But when I am depressed, I don't post those things on my status. I remember last year, a friend texted me, I was like, oh, no, I don't see your status again. I wanted to say, yeah, you don't see my status again because a girl is depressed. And when she's depressed, she doesn't post on her status. And one thing about me too is that when I'm depressed, I don't call people to tell them I'm depressed. Oh, hello, Espas, I'm depressed. I will not tell you. Welcome to the mental health quarters. Today the quarters is full because I'm going to be talking about so many things. A subscriber suggested this topic to me and I found it very appropriate because I went through something like this quite recently and I thought I should share it. I've forgotten his or her name, but I would like to thank you so much for suggesting this topic to me. And if there are any topics out there you'd like me to talk about, please feel free because I'm always ready to talk. So let's get started. So today's topic is called overcoming depression. I know those of you who have been following me since this channel began know that I have lived experience with bipolar disorder. And I always say that bipolar disorder is a two-in-one sickness made up of two sides. We have the mania and the depression. So there are times that you could be having a manic episode and sometimes you can be having a depressive episode. And you also know that I began my mental health journey with this condition in 2015 when I was just 21. But at the time, like from the year 2015 till last year, I had more manic episodes than depressive episodes. So when I have depression, I know I'm depressed because the signs are actually there. Like I don't feel like doing anything. I don't feel like talking to anyone. I don't feel like sleeping. I don't feel like eating. Or I sleep too much. And then another thing that was happening was I was losing interest in activities that I once enjoyed. So when I'm depressed, it's like I'm myself. I know what's going on with me. But when I'm manic, it's like someone's taking over my mind and it's controlling me to do the things I do. It's like I'm no longer in control of myself. And I don't even remember the things I do till I'm done. It's like at that moment I remember, but when it's over, then I start having flashbacks. Oh, I did this, I did that, I did this. And so we'll talk about it another time, but today I want to talk about overcoming depression. So I'm sure most of you have realized by now that I have gained so much weight, which I am not very proud of, but sometimes things happen and we just have to fight the good fight while we are in the fight. I don't know if that makes sense, but last year I got heavily depressed. Various things were happening in my life. Some were within my control, some were beyond my control, and I just had to know. I think it's God that sustained me through it all, because some of the things that happened to me, it just blew my mind. Today is actually 1st December, and sometimes, like today, when I was reflecting, I was like, if I could see, like, if last year me could see this year me, it would have been like, hey, wow, we survived. Oh. Like, look at all the bad things that happened last year, and look at what happened this year. You've truly survived. But today, I just want to say that depression is very horrible. Some of you think that mental health conditions are people exaggerating, or people exaggerating, or people faking, or people wanting attention. Having depression is one of the worst sicknesses you can ever have in your life. I'm telling you, because it's like, because you have lost interest in activities you once enjoyed in, you can't do anything. You don't want to do anything. And you begin to isolate yourself. You are withdrawing from people. You are just stuck. Even phone calls, you don't want to pick. For me, for example, I was very selective about the calls I pick. There were calls that I knew that if I pick, it's about the person is going to ask me to do something, and I didn't want to do it. And it's like you are feeling lazy at the same time, but you are not lazy, and you are losing energy because you are not eating, and you do not feel like eating. You do not want to eat. It's like somebody has taken all your power away from you. When I say power, it's like your urge to do stuff you once enjoyed. So people who follow me on my YouTube channel know that I took a very long break from YouTube, because I do not have the energy and the zeal to want to produce content, or even want to edit. So it was also part of the reasons why I took a long break from YouTube. And also, how did I overcome this depression? How did I fight it? Because there were times that it will try to come and I'll fight. It will try to come and I'll fight. And this is what I did. To the glory of God, this year, I have not been depressed. I am so proud of myself. I am grateful to God, because depression is horrible. So, how did I overcome depression last year? Like, how did I make sure what happened last year didn't repeat itself? Last year, one of the things that really helped me come out from depression was my faith in God, because there were times that, like, I was just hopeless. I was feeling worthless. It's like, who can I talk to who will understand me? And it was God, apart from the few friends I had. And look, when I say my faith helped me, there were times that me, on a regular day, when I'm in my element, I'll wake up, do my quiet time, pray, all those things. But when I was depressed, look, I'm not kidding you, I didn't want to do any of those things. So there were times that maybe I'll listen to a podcast by Joel Austin, or any of the other men or women of God I really like, or play songs, or even have friends encourage me with the word of God. God really helped me. I'm telling you, the word of God was like an anchor for me. So when the storms and the winds of depression tried to come and move me, tried to make me feel like down, it was like that anchor. It's like, you are not going to be depressed. You are going to be sound. You are going to, should I even use the word sound? You are going to be strong. You are going to be happy. You are not going to give up now. No, this is not the time that you should give up. Yes. And then the next thing that I did was, when I was feeling symptoms, when you're about to get depressed, I don't know if it's just me or other people, it happens to them. You feel the symptoms. So for me, I start feeling like I don't want to eat. I don't feel like eating anything. Or when I eat very little. Or I just become afraid. I don't know what I'm afraid of, but I'm just afraid, like fear. Like, I don't want to pick this person's call because they'll ask me to do some work for them. or I don't want to talk this to this person, or I don't want to reply certain emails and things like that. So when I feel those things, I know that on the depression thermometer, it is rising, it is coming, and I do not want to fall sick. So I start, it's like, to fight depression, you have to do the opposite of what you feel. Personally, that's what has worked for me. So when I wake up and something is telling me, oh, today, don't brush your teeth, immediately I counter it. The very thing that that depression is telling me to feel like doing, I'll do the opposite. Or don't eat, I'll eat. It's like you fight back. And I've told this to so many people who have come into my life, because it sounds silly, but depression is like a force that if you do not try to fight back, it will overcome you. And I'm saying this might not work. I've said it as a disclaimer in my description, that please, if you should know yourself. If you know you are in such a condition, like a depressed state, that you need to go to a hospital, please go to a hospital. Me, I was going to the hospital, but there are certain things that when you come home, it's like practicals. You have to do the practicals of your life. What is going on with your mental health? You have to fight back. So last year, I did all these things. I fought back. I was doing the opposite of what I was feeling. Something tells you, oh, don't go out. Withdraw. I will do the opposite. I will go out. I'll have a good time. I'll be happy. Just because I don't want that dark cloud of depression to come over me, and now we're having a storm and then it is just taking over me. I do not want that. Then the next thing I did was, so last year, from the beginning of last year, January, it was like every 3 months I was having a depressive episode. So last year, I think in August or October, I don't remember the month, I went back to the hospital and I told my doctor, I think it was October, I told my psychiatrist that, look, I've been taking a medication. I've been trying my best to fight this depression, but it seems not to be going anywhere. And he told me that, look, I'm going to adjust your medication. Your mood stabilizes. And so he did. So he increased the dosage, maybe let's say from 600 milligram to 800 milligram. I'm not going to mention the name of the medication because I don't want anybody to go and buy the medication and be self-medicate. So when he asked me to do that and I did that, I realized within a week that I came back to myself. So I always tell people that, look, if you are battling with something, you know yourself, you personally know how you feel within yourself. If you feel things are not going right, why don't you go back to the hospital? Don't be sitting at home and be a doctor and try to be adjusting and doing things which you shouldn't be doing. I am so glad I went to see that doctor for help, because I knew that what was happening within me, it wasn't my fault. And sometimes that's what depression will make you feel like, oh, you'll never be good enough, it's your fault, blah, blah, blah. Seeking professional help is very, very important. That was one of the ways I was able to overcome depression. Then, lastly, I made sure that while I was depressed, I did things that made me happy. So how did I do that? I'm someone, I really, really love movies. I love movies. I love watching series. So while I'm stuck in the bed, I don't feel like doing anything. I don't feel like seeing anyone. And one thing about me too is that when I'm depressed, I don't call people to tell them I'm depressed. Oh, hello, Express, I'm depressed. I will not tell you. I will just be there in my depressed state for like 2 weeks. When I come out, then I just start calling people to check up on them, because a part of me feels like, oh, you never know. People too may be going through stuff. You don't check up on them. So I check up on them. But they don't know that I'm checking up on them because something happened to me. And I'm really, really concerned about them. So, as I was saying, so in my depressed state, I do things that will not require so much energy for me to do. So if it means me stuck in my bed watching my movies and series, I will do that. If it means me stuck in my bed listening to my podcast, I will do that. If it means me having a gospel song minister to me, I'll do that. It's like I'm doing, it requires little effort, but I'm still doing something to myself. And let's say if the depression is making me bad, maybe not bad at all. At least maybe I'll try once. I'll go and stand under the shower, or I'll bath once a day or something. It's different for everybody. It's like, let's say you used to be able to do five things, but because you are depressed, you can only do one thing. I think you should try and do the one thing, so that as your spirit or your soul or your mental health is being lifted up, you can go back to doing the five things you used to do. And I think last and foremost, I think I should even do better at that. To be able to overcome depression, you should seek help from your support system. So some years ago, some friends of mine came to visit me. They knew that my room was in a mess. And one of them, she helped me to take a bath, which I'm very grateful for. Because people like me, we people think we are the strongest people, like we are the strongest people. But we are also the people that when we fall and we are hurt, we are depressed, we cry and all those things, we choose who we want to reveal those things to. So you may see SNM as, oh, SNM is always strong, SNM is always, you watch her status, she's going out, she's having fun. But when I am depressed, I don't post those things on my status. I remember last year, a friend texted me, I was like, oh, no, I don't see your status again. I wanted to say, yeah, you don't see my status again because a girl is depressed. And when she's depressed, she doesn't post on her status. Because I post on my status every single day. So those can be some signs like for you to look out for. Not say if I don't post today, it means I'm depressed. So, but maybe for like 1 week I've not posted, then there's something up with me. So as a friend or a family member, you need to look out for signs for whoever you are with. And like I was saying, someone like me, I choose whom I want to reveal my problems to or my weaknesses. So one thing I've noticed about myself is when my room is in a mess, it sort of clutters my mind. If my room is in a mess, everything is in a mess, it starts affecting my mental health. So what I do to prevent me from getting depressed is I make sure that my room doesn't get so messy that it starts affecting. When I see that it's getting messy, I do something to counter it. If I leave it for it to be messy, it wouldn't be long. I'll feel like a mess. So people in your support system, you should really, really reach out to them if you know you need help. There was this day my daddy did something which really touched my heart last year. He knew I was depressed. I was still trying to show up at work when I used to work last year. And I used to even go to work sometimes late because I was depressed. So when I came home, my daddy reorganized my room. He had put everything in order, and it really, really touched my heart because he could see that I was struggling, but I didn't want to ask anybody for help or talk about it. And so when he did that, it really, really helped my mood and my mental health. So if you know you are depressed, please seek professional help. You do not have to do it all alone. Don't be like me and try to hide everything. If you know you do need professional help, open up. Let the people around you help you. So those are some of my tips for overcoming depression. Please make sure to subscribe, like, and share this video. I'm trying to make sure that the message of mental health reaches everybody around. I always say that what makes me happy is one day somebody will find my channel and see these videos and it will really be of help and benefit to them. And you see, I wish I had a Ghanaian like me whose channel I came across when I was 21 years old. I think it would have really, really, really helped me. So why not do it now? Why don't you share the videos? There are so many people struggling with their mental health, but they won't tell you because we have to keep it 100% and look strong. And when really, really, really we are struggling with our mental health, so make sure to share, like, subscribe, so that the message of mental health will go far. Thank you so much for watching. And if you would like to be a guest on my channel, please kindly send me a message on Instagram. You can leave a comment in the comment section. You can send me an email. I would really love to host more people on my channel starting from now. So please, if you know anyone who would like to come and share their lived experience or share anything related to mental health or disability, please come to me. Thank you so much for watching, and I look forward to seeing you in our next video. It's bye from the mental health quarters. Bye.